If I can have everyone's attention, we'll continue our availability. We now welcome Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 National Guard Diet Mountain Dew Chevrolet, currently our points leader and with one win. Dale Jr., talk a little bit about your efforts so far this season, being our points leader, and you're coming into Watkins Glen this weekend.
Well, we went testing a couple weeks ago to try to get better. After we struggled at Sonoma, and we struggled in our test earlier in the season too. So, we kept working at it, and I think we made a lot of gains. We gained a lot of speed. So I'm excited to see how that's going to pay off this weekend. I feel pretty confident we'll be able to put up an effort we can be proud of, and so kind of looking forward to it, I guess.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start in the back with Melinda.
Hi, Melinda Adams, ESPN. Have two questions. First one, want to start off and see if you watched the Redskins last night and what you thought about RG3. And the second one is talk about the dominance of Hendricks and why y'all have just been so strong this season.
Yeah, I watched. I got that NFL preseason app on my iPad because it was blacked out on my satellite for some reason. But so I was scrambling like everybody else trying to find a way to watch the game, and it was great to see some football. Seems like it's been forever since we've been able to watch any football, and to watch my Redskins play was great. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. In other sports, as the playoffs loom, teams rest players for fear of injury and whatnot. But philosophically, that doesn't seem to work in racing. You guys just keep on going as hard as you can go. Why is that? What's the mindset there to just keep on putting it down?
I don't know how you can rest drivers or take a. All right, Marty. I mean, you can't. Because you want to win. You want to win the race. You want to do well. You can't take time off. And you don't physically. The cars are safe, and we're not in physical danger or of injury, and that kind of stuff may kind of loom large in stick and ball sports, but in our sport, it's more about the only thing you kind of worry about is just burning yourself out mentally, and if you kind of if you just prepare yourself for that, you can handle that. But it's a little bit different since we're driving race cars, and we got all the safety apparatuses and things that we have to keep us in one piece.
Okay, we'll take our next question up here from Jeff.
Jeff Club from SBNation.com. Being the points leader, would it mean something momentum-wise to be the points leader going into the chase enough that you would still consider doing some sort of points racing for these next 5 races? Or if you took some gambles, maybe on fuel mileage and stuff, and say you fell back to 3rd, would that bother you or take away some momentum? Like, is it worth being the points leader, I guess, even though it doesn't actually, there's no reward actually in the standings?
Yeah, we can take gambles, and it is real tight up front, so we could walk out of here. We could come into this race in first place in points, and we could walk out of here in 5th pretty easily if things were to go bad for us. So I know that going in. I prepare myself mentally for all the things that could happen to us, and if anything, I think it would make us hungrier and try to work harder, feeling like we haven't quite made the statement we want to make this year. We want to win the championship. We want to battle for the championship, and that we also on on the way to getting that done, you want to win more races, and we haven't. We were really conservative all year long, and we feel like we can definitely, in a position we're now, gamble a lot more. Not just be foolish, but we could try to stretch the car on fuel mileage and places like that to try to win races, like a lot of these guys do. So a lot of people have done. So we just kind of played it safe and made sure we were going to make the chase. That was the first thing. You don't want to miss the chase being foolish. Now we feel like we got a good position to do that, and these last few races we can kind of just throw it all out there. And if we fall back in points because we made a few mistakes or made some gambles that didn't pay off, it's not a big deal. We know what kind of season we've had, and we know we got a lot to be proud of. And I think that mentally we can go into the chase, pretty excited about our chances. So hopefully we can, make some of them gambles pay off, though, and things will work out in a positive way, and we can win some races before the chase even starts.
Okay, we'll go Claire, Chuck, and Jim. Go ahead, Claire.
XM NASCAR Radio. Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Juan Montoya was telling me this morning that this is much more difficult than Sonoma. He thinks it takes so much more here. He says anybody can drive Sonoma because how fast it is. And you struggled at Sonoma. What is the most difficult part for you of the road course here? And what do you learn during a test? Is it just seat time really for you? Just more time in the car, taking those turns?
I guess he would know because he's a professional at road courses. But I really have to say that this place for me is easier than Sonoma. Sonoma's a technical track with there's a lot of corners one after the other, and if you mess up the first corner, it ruins the next 10. So it kills the whole lap. Here we've got long straightaways and then a 90-degree corner, then a straightaway, then another corner. So if you make a mistake in a corner, you can really kind of reset the car and get everything figured out and make something out of the rest of the lap, and even sometimes do well enough to make up for your mistake and still put down a good time. So for me, this place isn't quite as tough mentally and technically. And it is fast here. I thought Sonoma's a lot of slow corners, a lot of left and right, and moving the car around, trying to change directions with this car. It's 3,400 pounds. It doesn't change directions very well. But when you come here, you just go down a straightaway turn, and just try to make the best lap, put the best lap you can together. The only tough, tricky part really is just the chicane and the carousel, and you kind of wing. I don't know if I go through that thing the same twice, but you try to go through it fast as you can.
We obviously are not going to get to all the questions. I know there's about 15 people that have their hands raised. We're going to get to as many questions as time allows. So just an FYI to those that have their hands raised, we're not going to be able to get to everyone. Go ahead with your question, Chuck.
Junior Chuck Howard, NASCAR Media Group. Is it safe to say now that Michigan is quickly becoming one of your favorite tracks due to your recent success? And also, do you know what your team gleaned from the recent tire test up there?
Yeah, I don't know what they learned. I haven't went over any of that information yet, but we will when we get a little closer. The track's always been fun for me. It's really wide, and up until they repaved it, you really use the whole racetrack in the corner, and that's perfect. You can't ask for any better situation than when cars go through the corner and everybody's sort of using a different line. I mean, that's what you want. That's the kind of racetracks you hope and pray to build. And I think over time this surface will age and we'll get back to widening up the surface quite a bit. And it has the characteristics as far as the way the corners banked and the way the corners are laid out to widen right back out again and be the great racetrack it's always been. So I really enjoy it. Even had I not won any races there, it's just a really, really fun track.